What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad's Conversations with the Mod Squad. I'm your host, Kevin, always joined by Felix.
What's up?
And this week's guest, we got the leader of the Cozy Coalition, CoZChristopher himself. How's it going, man?
Man, hey, what's going on, Felix? Nice to meet you, man. It's going good, man. Things are great right now. It's the end of the summer. Kids are starting to go back to school, starting to get a little bit more free time. So things are doing well right now. What about for you two?
Going good. Yeah, mine just started school. So, yeah, free time is the best time.
Yeah, mine are closer to 30 than 20, so it's been free time for a while.
You don't look it, man.
I feel it.
That's the truth, right?
All right, Cozy, the first question I want to ask you is, what exactly is CoZChristopher and how did that channel start?
Yeah, it's interesting. CoZChristopher is just my name backwards. So my name is Christopher Cozy. And I started the channel, believe it or not, the first channel was around fitness. And this was prior to like COVID, right? And I did it mainly on Instagram. And I did videos daily. Like we were in the gym all the time. And when COVID hit, it kind of changed. But at that point, I kind of had the bug for editing. And YouTube was a personal passion of mine. I don't watch a lot of television, but I will watch YouTube for hours because I like learning random stuff. And so it was one of those things where it's like, I want to do that too. I've already done the Instagram editing stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I want to do it on a larger scale. And I'm a nerd by nature. I'm an audio degree major, music management degree. And so I started with microphone reviews and I started with audio interfaces and stuff like that. And I just did it. I still do it really just for fun, but that's like my creative outlet. And so I really enjoy that communicating with folks. But if you watch my channel, I do a lot of value, lower costing things, and I do higher costing things now too. But I grew up really poor, and so it's always been when I find something that's really affordable, we're all familiar with the Fine microphones and the Red Dragon keyboards and the Raphu mouses and stuff like that. When I find stuff like that that's really affordable, but it also is really good, I like sharing it with audiences because not everything has to be brand new and shiny and $300 for it to be effective. And so that's really what my channel has been about the most. And but I'm super random, and I have so many different passions that you'll see TVs, Temu, microphones, computer builds, outside with the kids, all type of stuff on my channel.
And lately, studio build. If I'm
yeah. That's my fad right now. New cameras, new lenses, new gear. I go down these rabbit holes and I just end up just sharing it.
That's exactly what I do too. I love that type stuff. So Cozy and your fans, if you're not familiar with this show, what this is all about is letting your fans get to know you more on a personal level, but in a lighthearted type of way. Mm-hmm. We'll start with some word association with Felix. I'll ask some thought-provoking questions, and we'll end it up with some rapid fire this or that.
Okay.
So Felix, go ahead and take it away, sir.
All right, man. Word association, just first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Western.
Tombstone.
What's up? Right there. Hero.
My grandmother.
A desire.
To live comfortably with my family and babies and their extended line.
I like that. Network.
That is, well, I'm nerdy, so I started to say infrastructure, but people.
Piano.
Favorite instrument.
Storm.
Aurora, X-Men.
Adventure.
I'm not an outdoors person. I would say traveling the world to see historical sites.
I like that. Bizarre.
Politics.
Agreed. Memory.
Really great long term, not the best short term.
Fear.
Failing people.
And my last one, This one's a tough one. Cheeseburger.
Veggie. I'm a vegetarian.
Well,
Impossible.
You can't hate.
they make good veggie burgers from what I hear. I've never had one yet.
There's some good brands. Impossible is a pretty good brand. I question it all the time if there's actually a veggie patty.
My son does that.
Does he? Okay. Mm-hmm.
He was like, "You got." I've never tasted it, but he's like, "You're not going to tell the difference."
Especially if you put them on the grill and you cook them with charcoal. Like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like, make sure this is veggie because I stopped eating meat a long time ago.
All right, and to follow up on Felix's cheeseburger, is a vegetable hot dog a sandwich?
No, we used to talk about this in the corporate office. I think it's a taco.
I could see that. I could see that.
I could see that. I guess.
I could definitely see a taco. I mean, it's kind of like a
sub
stuffed bread. Yeah, I could see that. I like that. But when I think of hot dogs and stuff, I think of events. And one of my favorite events to go to was wrestling events. Because when that wrestler comes through that curtain and that music hits, you know exactly who he is.
Steve Austin.
Yeah. Exactly. You know exactly who he is and what he's all about. If you had a theme song that played every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
Oh, my God. Leonard Skinner, Simple Man, maybe.
Okay. Hey, we're all just simple men. You know what I mean? We're all just simple men. I like it. I like it. And we're gonna stick with the music here. What is your guilty pleasure car karaoke song? You know that one. You kind of roll the windows up, but turn up the music and sing it as loud as you can.
Oh my God!
But kind of embarrassed that you do.
Man, all of them. I'm a music head, so I'm really passionate about music. So it don't matter what the song is, really. I mean, I'll sing it. Hosier, Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. It don't matter. Sarah Smiles.
Can you hit those notes that Whitney hit now?
Oh, nobody can hit the notes that Whitney hits. Probably Sarah Smiles is a song that always brings me good energy when I hear it come on. The Daryl Oates original version. There's a one by Jimmy. I can't remember his last name, but that's a good one too.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, we're gonna stick with staying in the car. What is the farthest you've ever traveled from home for vacation?
It would be to go home. I'm originally from Michigan and I'm in Georgia. And so the farthest I've driven in a car is to go back and forth between when I go back home to visit family and things like that. And we try to do it every year, but it's been probably since 21 since we've been there. So it's been almost 3 years, but it's a 16-hour drive to my wife's parents' house because she's from Michigan as well. And it's a 12-hour drive from here to my house.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, do you drive straight through, or do you stay a night somewhere?
No, we typically drive overnight, and we did that for years because the kids would sleep, and so we would leave at about 10 o'clock at night, and then we would get to back home in the morning time before all the traffic and stuff like that. So we kind of miss all the traffic going up through the major cities, and it was just the best time to go. Traffic's horrible here in Georgia anyway, so you don't really want to leave when it's busy.
Well, I'm originally from Florida, so I can relate with traffic. Yeah, I can definitely relate with traffic. But that is in miles. How about time? If you could travel 10 years to the past or 10 years to the future, but only for 24 hours, which way would you go and why?
I would probably go to the future to discern whether or not I've led my children in the right correct direction. Like have I done everything to make sure that they're successful? My oldest is a junior in high school. My second oldest is a freshman, right? And so 10 years from now they'll be well on their way into life. And so it's have I done enough? Have I said enough? Have I shared enough? Have I mentally and spiritually and emotionally prepared them for what the world has to offer for them? So I will go into the future and cheat
I like that. No, I like that. You know, family man, always thinking about the family. That's great qualities.
Can't hate.
No, can't hate it at all. How about a little color theory? How would you describe the color purple to a blind man?
Oh man. I don't know. Purple's my favorite color. Purple's my favorite color. I grew up a huge Prince fan. From Michigan. I would it's also the color of royalty. I would associate it with a feeling of accomplishment. Of it's color of royalty. It's like if you look at historical figures, Prince, people that would use purple, different regimes. So yeah, I would describe it as a feeling of superiority, a feeling of royalty.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let's get a little personal. What is the funniest thing to ever happen to you that you can legally talk about?
Man, not much, to be honest. I really don't have, like, I would consider myself like a goofy person by nature and like joke around with folks all the time, but like thankfully I don't have any horrifically embarrassing stories to be like this thing happened and I was horrified or mortified or anything like that. Yeah, I really don't have anything.
Since you're the Joker, what about something you did to someone?
Well, I'm not a prankster. But
Okay.
it's more along the lines of I generally walk around with a smile on my face every day, and you know what I mean. And I'm always kind of like in this type of smile, you know, lighthearted type mood. And so I don't. People, because of that, it's hard for people to like make fun of me and stuff like you know
Get it?
so yeah, I don't really have an embarrassing or like a super funny moment that
All right.
was centered around me. Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Some people don't. Some people just can't think of anything that comes
Back,
to their mind. Yeah.
back to Leonard Skinner,
Yeah.
simple man.
If you've polled your family and friends, though, what would they say you're most known for?
Yeah.
Oh, that was an evil little laugh. I'm not gonna lie.
I noticed that too.
They used to call me Dan Rather, because I used to act like it was like a nickname growing up. Because I told you earlier I'm a nerd, so I would ask so many questions, and like my Uncle Phil used to call me Dan Rather all the time because I would just whatever the subject was, I would just start, and
28 questions.
I had to know everything about it. If you watch my videos, I'm super detailed, and it's because I just got to know stuff. Like and so they would say I'm either, you know, they would call me Dan Rather. They would say like I'm a know-it-all or something like that, or nerd or something like that.
No, your videos really are super detailed. That's one reason why I watch them. I really like them.
Thank you, brother.
No. I'm a Superman guy. I love Superman. I love his superpowers. But if you had a superhuman power, what would it be? And would you use it for good or evil? One single superhuman power.
Superman's my favorite hero.
I've noticed him on your screensaver a couple times. I'm not gonna lie.
One power. I would definitely use it for good. That's kind of what I associate with. At least I hope I do. It would be. Could I cheat and be like Legion, or could I
Yeah,
and absorb powers? It probably would be Professor X. It would be the ability to read minds at scale. It's something that allows you to really understand the true nature of something, someone, something,
It's feeling.
and make the right decisions, right? Understand the why behind everything, right, and be able to make the right choices.
Yeah, because sometimes the why is the biggest question of all. I
Mm-hmm.
really like that.
It's the true motivator, right?
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, I'm a Superman guy. I love comic books. What single piece of media, whether it be book, movie, or TV show, has had the most influence on the person you are today?
Well, it would be the Bible. First and foremost, I was raised non-denomination, but very, very strong worship in my household. But like if we were talking about like stuff that people have created, the Wonder Emporium. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. There's a with I can't even think of his name right now, but it's the Wonder Emporium. And there was a quote, and he said, "Life is an occasion, so rise to it." And like that was I think I was early 20s at that time, and like it was after college, right? And that's when like you first start paying your bills, and like you're getting your first couple jobs and things like that, and you're trying to figure out life and stuff like that. And so that quote has stuck with me all the way through life. I'm 40 now, and so life is an occasion, and regardless of what comes at you, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, you kind of got to rise to that in order to get derive happiness from that circumstance. So that quote's been with me for a long time. It's still on my, I think if it's still on my LinkedIn page and still on my, X, you call it X now, not Twitter. I think it's part of that bio too. So that's been there for a while. Yeah.
It's gonna always be Twitter to me. So I'm sorry.
X is weird, right?
It's
That's bizarre.
X gonna give it to you? Come on, Yeah, I love good movies too, but if your life was a movie, what
Lord.
would the title be, and who would actually play you in your movie?
Well, who would play me? I would say Nick Cannon, and that's because my family always. Well, I don't know if you remember that movie Drumline when it came out. My grandma swore he and I are very similar, and so out of homage to her, I would say Nick Cannon. But it might be. I would say Simple Man. Just going back to it, just because. Like I've never wanted to be like super rich. I've just always wanted to be in a situation where I could be comfortable. And so like my life has kind of been that way. Like I work for the things I want, but I don't splurge aggressively and things like that. So that would be it. I'm a country boy.
I see the theme, man. I see the theme with the Simple Man. I like it. Like I said, I love movies. One of my favorite movies is Castaway, where he's stranded on a desert island. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take with you and why?
God, because I would die immediately. I'm not an outdoors person at all, and so I mean, I could figure it out. I'm an athlete, but I would have to take like. I don't even watch the show Survivor or anything like that, so I don't even know. I would need something. I would need a tent. I would need something to sleep in and under until I was able to build something. I would learn. I would need some form of, because I'm a vegetarian, so I don't want to kill anything. So I'm gonna have to need some form of agricultural, a garden set, tool set.
No, that's a good one.
And I would need, my goodness, I would need clothing, because even though it's a desert, like the clothing keeps the sun off of you and it helps you survive longer. So I mean, I would need clothing
at night too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I mean, there would be no water there, so I'd still die. But
you'd figure out how to get it. Yeah.
I dig with my garden tools.
If you could switch lives with someone just for a day, who would it be and why?
My wife. It would be my wife. She's like Superwoman. But going, kind of like what I was thinking earlier, like making sure I told my kids the right thing to say. It'd be like the same thing, like switch places. I've been my wife for 20 years. So like, am I who I think I am, right, in her eyes, right, and those type of things. Um,
I like that.
yeah,
That's a
and,
good answer. Man, that's a good answer. I like that a lot, actually. I really do. All right. Last two questions I have for you is, and the first one is, what are your 1 year, 5 year, and 10-year goals?
1 year is I started this year and I wanted to get to 20K for YouTube, and man, like kind of halfway through, I like my steam kind of slowed down just because stuff at home, like the kids' sports and I coach and stuff like that. It kind of slowed down. So my 1 year goal is still to get to 20K. It's really late in the year, so it's like because the momentum is kind of slow right now, but it's possible. But I want to do it the right way. I want my channel to grow naturally and organically. And my 5 year goals would be for my YouTube channel to be a not like a main income, but a decent income. Like I would want it to be a decent income. And the only reason is because I want my kids to kind of see the growth that it's been, because like my kids are basketball players and I have a cross country runner that's nationally ranked, and like I want them to see what hard work is if you set a goal and you stay focused on it, you know what I mean? And so my 5 year plan would be for that to be large, as for one, for me, because I've worked my butt off on it,
Right.
but for two, like for them to see it as a really good example of when you stick to something, you get the rewards from it, and it's starting to happen. My 10 year goal, would just be to make sure that things are good for my babies. At that point, I'll have some of them out of the house, most of them out of the house. I got 6, so most of them out of the house.
Ooh,
And
you are a cannon.
they all with me though. But I'm just playing. No pun intended. I love Nick Cannon, but that make sure that they're going in the right direction. Like when we first came down here to Michigan, like my grandmother, my in-laws, like made sure we were going in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like if we stumbled, they let us stumble, but they wouldn't let us fall.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so like making sure that I have enough of a foundation that I can do the same for the next generation and kind of continue to instill that down our family line. Yeah.
I like it. All right, last question I have for you, man, is if you had center stage to the world and had everybody by the ear, what would your message be?
I would say have grace for folks. You know what I mean? We're all the main character in our own story, right? But we live in everybody else's. And so it was one thing that I learned, like as I got older. Like when I was young, I was athlete and very self-centered and things like that. But as I got older, like you start to realize that everybody goes through life and they have like their day-to-day grinds that they're working on. You never know somebody else's story, right? And you never know like what your interaction can do for somebody, whether it's negative, positive. You can send somebody to the moon and back, and you can completely destroy somebody by your interaction, right? And so I think that it's important that as time has progressed, I'm one of those people that always talk about the good old days and like when things were back in my day.
Mm-hmm.
But as society continues to desensitize to other folks and other cultures and other things like that, remember that we're all human, right? And treat each other as such. Yeah.
I like it, man. Great message. I really enjoy that one. All right, we're going to finish off with some rapid fire this or that from Felix. Felix, take it away, man.
All right, man. Is it GIF or GIF?
Is it technically GIF, but everybody says GIF? I think it's GIF.
Android or Apple?
Oh, man, listen. It's supposed to be rapid, but
That's fine.
and Android is a better system, but iOS because it's a better ecosystem.
Okay.
That's a nerd in me.
I get what you're saying with it.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
It can be done. Yes.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Checkers or chess?
Checkers.
Books or ebooks?
Ah, um, Audibles.
All right,
uh, e-
ebooks.
uh,
Why?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I
That's-
I could hear you going back and forth in your head.
It's one of those things where it's like I love all of them. I
Yeah.
do audibles throughout the day when I'm busy. I do ebooks when I'm sitting in bed at night, and I'll do like a good old fashioned book when I need to recharge. I'll sit down and I sit with an old fashioned book and I flip through the pages. So that's why it's really hard to say one or the other.
That's fine. Wired or wireless headphones?
For gaming, wireless. For music, wired.
All right. Is it truth, justice in the American way, or truth,
Well,
justice in a better tomorrow?
And a better tomorrow.
And my last one, I'm going to tweak this one. Baked potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Baked potato. Love a baked potato. Absolutely love them.
I see why you tweaked it. Yeah, usually it's soft or hard tacos.
I had to think for a second. But yeah.
Vegetarian throw you
Yeah.
for a stump, huh?
All right, that's all we got for you, Cozy. Last thing we have for you is what do you have coming up and where can people find you?
People can find me. CoZChristopher is my Instagram handle. Just CoZChristopher is TikTok. CoZChristopher is Twitter. CoZChristopher is YouTube as well. So everything is kind of, you can find me that way. Anything coming up? There's nothing specific coming up. My channel is starting to have steam, right? There's starting to be like larger brands starting to reach out, right, to want to partner with me. So I'll have mixtures of, you know, I guess more recognized brands on my channel, which that does make a difference for me. But there's nothing major coming up in that avenue. But CoZChristopher, you can find me on all socials, even though YouTube is my primary one.
Oh, very cool, man. Very cool. I suggest everybody join the Cozy Coalition.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for joining us today. It's been a blast talking to you. I've
Pleasure
really
meeting you,
enjoyed it, man.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I really appreciate you all having me. Thank you.
Not a problem, not a problem. And that does it for this episode of Conversations with the Mod Squad. So for Cozy and Felix, I am Kevin saying, if we don't see you again, thank you for being a friend.
See ya.
Stay cozy.